Hello friends, once again I welcome all of you in today's lecture. Today we will be dealing with another very important topic of our syllabus. As we know, after completion of very first topic, that is life cycle of Plasmodium vivax, we will see different parasitic protozoans and diseases caused by them. This is topic of our today's discussion actually. Friends, let us discuss about uh, parasite which causes infection and causes deadliest disease, and that disease is called as malaria. Today we will discuss over malaria. Now the malarial parasite. We have already discussed about the malarial parasite, and we know that Plasmodium species which causes infection and lead to cause disease, and that disease caused by this Plasmodium species called as malaria. Now this is sporozoan, because we know that infective form of this is nothing but sporozoid which enters in the body, and this is nothing but a sporozoan which comes under class sporozoa. This sporozoan is responsible for causing malaria. Because of malaria causing abilities, these species are referred to be malarial parasites. As we all know that basically they choose red blood corpuscle for the purpose of food and shelter, and towards human being these parasites are carried by a vector, and vector is nothing but mosquito. We have already discussed about different species of Plasmodium which causes infection. Basically these four species are Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malariae and Plasmodium falciparum. These are the four species which causes infection and which is responsible for causing malaria. We have already discussed about the geographical distribution of these protozoan species which causes malaria, and basically tropical and temperate countries occurrence of Plasmodium is more. It is most commonly distributed and prevails in the temperate zones, temperate regions of the whole world. Let us take a life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. As we all know that this P. vivax is a digenetic. It needs two hosts to complete its complete cycle. We have already discussed these both cycles, a sexual cycle as well as sexual cycle. It is most common of the human infecting malaria fever parasite. Plasmodium is called. It causes benign tertian or vivax malaria, which is characterized by 48-hour cycle, fever and chilling of body and increase in the temperature of body. These are nothing but symptoms of this malaria. We know it needs two hosts, that's why we call it as digenetic. One is a human being and another one is nothing but a vector, that is mosquito. In human being, a sexual cycle is completed. We have already discussed that first is liver schizogony, that is first cycle which is completed in the liver. When entry of sporozoid takes place, it travels for half an hour in the bloodstream, then reaches to liver. There it completes its short period, and then it enters in the second cycle, that is erythrocytic schizogony. It enters in the red blood corpuscles and it forms gamete. These gametes, when again bite of mosquito is there, these are sucked, these are taken by mosquito, and in mosquito sexual cycle is completed. This is generalized structure of this Plasmodium. You can see here Plasmodium. This is quite elongated in shape, possessing mitochondria and cell organelles inside this. Now it moves in the bloodstream. Flexibility, it is provided by convoluted tubules. You can see the opening, that is micropyle. Paired organelles are also present here, and you can see microtubules of this pellicle, and here this sporocyte is identified, characterized by presence of apical cap, which helps to penetrate in the cells. This is nothing but a structure of Plasmodium sporozoite. Now let us see its infection. Infection is caused due to the bite of a female Anopheles mosquito. Anopheles bite resulting in the inoculation of many sporozoites, thousands of sporozoites, along with the saliva into the body of human being or a victim. Now we have already discussed schizogony, liver schizogony. Then we have discussed about pre-erythrocytic phase, exoerythrocytic phase. All these phases are already discussed, and we have completed in the part 2 and part 3 of life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. So again you can see this erythrocytic schizogony, which is characterized by different stages. One is trophocyte stage, next one is signet ring stage, amoeboid stage, then schizont is there. Post erythrocytic schizogony, this is also we have already discussed in part 2 and part 3 of Plasmodium life cycle. Gametes which are formed in the human being in the red blood corpuscles, which are to be taken by mosquitoes. Two types of gamete, that is microgamete and megagamete or macrogamete. These are the two gametes which are formed in the red blood corpuscles. Again you can see the diagram. Life cycle completed in the human being, that is asexual cycle, and here you can observe life cycle, that is sexual cycle, which is completed in the mosquitoes. Sexual cycle of Plasmodium vivax, which is completed in the mosquito. A sexual cycle which is completed in the human being. Now let us see sexual cycle starts with ingestion of blood by this mosquito, then followed by gametogony, where two types of gametes are present. One is microgamete and second one is the megagamete. Megagamete behave as a female gamete, and microgamete which behave as a male gamete. Fertilizations occurs. Fertilization cone, it is formed by megagamete, where there is fusion of male gamete takes place and a formation of ookinete results. Due to encystment, it penetrates through the midgut of this mosquito and converted into a spherical or rounded type of shape. And here comes the sporogony, which is completed in the mosquito in the gut region. Now important one, actually we have to discuss about it. This is what quite live wire of Plasmodium species or Plasmodium, how it completes its life cycle. Basically malaria, the symptom of malaria first appear several days after the infection of this parasite. Now incubation period, a very important terminology. Incubation period is nothing but a period where first symptom of disease that can be observed. Now what type of symptoms can be observed during malaria? First one is the cold stage. Now cold stage, at the onset of malaria, patient or victim that suffers from severe shaking, chills. Cold stage, it lasts for near about 20 minutes. The patient feels severe shaking, chilling, even chattering of teeth that you can observe in the victim of malaria, which is followed by a hot stage. As chills subside, immediately you can see the hot stage. The body temperature immediately rises at high. It reaches to 106 Farad, and near about 1 to 4 hours it takes. It lasts for this 4 hours. Here in the hot stage you can see the sweating stage, where you can find that victim, that patient suffers from a sweating. As the temperature lowers down, patient sweats continuously, profusely. Here, due to this sweating, fever comes down and temperature that becomes normal. Malaria fever occurs when schizoid in the red blood corpuscle burst and set free their merozoites and malarial pigment hemozoin in the plasma. When it undergoes erythrocytic schizogony, at that time, when there is bursting of schizoid takes place, which results into deposition, which results into the hemozyme pigment, which is released into the bloodstream, and that leads to the different symptoms of malaria. Now, you can find that malarial victim that may suffer from anemia, or he become anemic. Reason behind it, because numerous numbers of red blood corpuscles that are destroyed. Infected red blood corpuscle, they are more fragile and ruptured. Parasite, actually when it is inside red blood corpuscle, it produces hemolysin and it leads to bring hemolysis process. In the chronic cases, spleen becomes enlarged. Just spleen that enlarges, and you can also find that swelling in the abdominal region also. Now, these are nothing but the symptoms of malaria. Let us see the control of malaria, how we can control this malaria. First one is elimination or destruction of vector. Yes, very important. Eliminate, destroy this vector. Then prevent infection of this malaria, and malaria can be cured, can be treated by visiting the physician. Destruction of Anopheles, yes, mosquitoes, this can be destructed, and this is best way to eliminate this causing factor, that is destruction of mosquitoes. Now, the breeding places such as swampy, marshy and water lodging areas, that should be cleared out. Bushes, shrubs, that should be cleared out, because these are nothing but sites, these are nothing but the regions where you can find more number of mosquitoes. We can prevent this infection, use of insect repellents, nets, gloves, and by screening bedroom windows. This can be the better way to prevent this malaria. Treatment, yes, there are treatment available in today's date, and 100% cure is possible. Chloroquine and quinine, these are nothing but anti-erythrocytic stage drugs that can be given by a practitioner, physician. Primaquine and pyrimethamine, anti-erythrocytic stage drug, these are also that can be helpful to cure this malaria. And this is about malaria, how vector that transmit this infective form, which is called as sporozoid. It infects human being. It leads to provide damage to the liver and to red blood corpuscle, causing different symptoms of this malaria. And malaria can be cured by visiting the doctors, physician or technician, and be safe from this vector. Thank you. Thank you.